What is up, guys? This is Hyro once again, and I'm coming at you guys with another content of Cookie Run Kingdom. Today I'm going to be going over the tier list for the treasures. I know you guys have been asking a lot about it, and here we go. This is what I'm going to be doing for today, and we'll be sharing my thoughts about the treasures that are currently available in the game. There are 17 of them, and I'll be rating them from S to D tier. So anyways, guys, this is my opinion, so you guys don't need to follow it. This is just so that you guys can see my thoughts about each of these treasures, and you guys can base it off of your thoughts, my thoughts, and then whatever you guys want to come up with, that is up to you. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoy these content, please hit that subscribe button and the like button, and also put that notification bell so that you guys don't miss out on any other content that I upload on YouTube. And also, if you guys enjoy it, please let me know in the comment below whether this guide was helpful for you, this tier list was helpful, or if you guys disagree, let me know why you disagree. Anyways, guys, with all that out of the way, let's get right into the video. Alright, guys, so I'm gonna be going over each of the cookie treasures, right? And then we'll also be kind of going over the effects that they have on your team and what they kind of do, and then explain the reason why I'm placing each of these treasures in certain tier. Alright, anyways, let's go start. It's gonna be with the Monocle. I'm putting Monocle at B tier. The main reason why is because Monocle can only be attained through the guild boss or the guild gacha. Okay, this treasure, yes, it is useful and a lot of people use it. So this treasure, it allows debuff purification and also heals cookies with their maximum percentage of their maximum HP. In a way, it is a it seems like a good treasure, but once again, you have to realize that this can only be attained through the guild gacha, right? I keep saying guild boss battle, but it is from the guild gacha, and also it is an epic treasure, so it is really hard to get. But it just basically just does healer's job, but not that great. So it is rather, if you want to use this, then it's just better to keep a herb cookie in your team, and it will do a multiple times better than what the Monocle can do. And in my opinion, it is not worth putting a debuff purification and a percentage healing for like a split second as one of your treasure slots. So I'll be putting that on B tier. It is useful in some comps and in teams for new players that don't have good treasures, so it is still viable. But for higher level players, the Monocle will not be very much used, so I'll be putting that at B tier. Alright, and then next one is going to be the Lollipop. Lollipop is going to be at an S tier. S tier because even though it is actually not even though, I start out because it is a rare treasure, it is easier to get than any of the epic treasures. Of course, there are RNG factors, and you may get the epic treasures more, but you gotta realize the Lollipop actually buffs the attack and the crit percentage of your highest attacking or attack stat cookie, and this is going to be great for boss battles, great for doing the guild boss battle, and also great for any of these one-shot builds that you guys can do in arena. So it is a ridiculous amount of extra attack and crit percentage for that one cookie. So for example, if you're using it on almond team and you want to buff your sea fairy cookie, then you can use this treasure, and boom, the sea fairy will be getting about 40% extra attack, 40% extra crit, and on top of that, you'll be getting all the other buffs. So it is a ridiculous amount. This is a great treasure to use as well if you're using a vampire comp with the almond as well, and things like that. So I just want to put the Lollipop at an S tier for this tier list. Alright, so next treasure is going to be the Blind Man's Healing Staff. The staff is going to be placed at B tier. The reason for this is because, yes, it is a healing treasure, but it does a lot better than the Monocle in my opinion. However, it only heals one, and the cooldown is long, and it's just if this is going to be a treasure you're going to use, I'd rather have a defense treasure and then or a cooldown treasure and have my healer heal my tank or the lowest HP cookie. So this staff's effect is going to be that you are going to heal the current lowest HP cookie by a percentage of all of your cookies attack. So this is going to be very, very useful if you have someone like Sea Fairy, and Sea Fairy has like 50,000 attack points. Pastry has like 30,000, and everyone else, and then you combine it, you have about 100,000. Then if 50% of that, of course, is going to be like 50,000 HP. So in a way, it can be very, very useful, and it can come in clutch. However, it is healing and you need to use it, and sometimes it just does not work out well. And in my opinion, there are better treasures out there than healing treasure. So I'll be putting that at B tier. It is not completely useless, so that's why I'm still putting it at the B tier. Alright, so next treasure is going to be the coin purse. Coin purse is going to allow you to gain some coins or have a chance of gaining coins when you defeat the enemies. It is absolutely useless in the game pretty much. The best way to farm coin is going to be the wishes or the tree of wish, so do not use this thing and waste your treasure slot. It is absolutely useless. You do not need it. It is a common. It's going to ruin your gacha, but you can ignore it and not put it into your treasure slot. If you're using this currently right now, then you are doing something wrong. So please do not use this treasure, okay? Alright, next one is going to be the torch. I will be putting this torch at an A tier. The torch is actually pretty strong and is very, very useful in the one-shot builds that are currently going on in the arena. So the treasure itself is not like super strong in PvE. It is viable because it will deal damage to all the enemies for the overtime based on the attack of your cookies. So it is pretty good, but it can it is not useful for every single team, and it is not very useful for PvE as well. So I'm just going to be putting it at an A tier because it is useful for some teams but not useful for others as well. But overall use of it, it can be very good for one-shot teams like the current Sea Fairy Mango cookie team that are going on. Sea Fairy Mango, yeah, that's right. So with the gingerbread almond tiger lily, so it is a very strong treasure if you use it properly. However, if you do not, then it can be a waste of a slot. So I'm just going to be putting it at an A tier. Next one is going to be the horn. Devil's horn is going to be at that S tier. If you guys don't know, it's going to just flat increase your defense. It's one of the best treasures you can be using earlier on and even in the late game as well. It is a common treasure, so you'll be able to easily max this treasure out. And that being said, why not have some extra defense so that you can you can survive and get healed, or you can survive and do some more damage. It is a great treasure. It's going to increase the entire your entire team's defense up by a certain percentage. So I would highly recommend using the horn if you are if you're lacking a slot in the treasure, or you just don't know what to put, and you don't have any of the other S tiers, then definitely this is one of the best treasure you can have on your treasure slot, or in your treasure slot. So next one is going to be the trophy save. Trophy save is absolutely useless as well. It is another variation of a coin purse. It is saying that you can have a chance of gaining some gold after you finish the after you finish the stage, and you have a chance of like multiplying your coins, I believe. But it is absolutely useless. It's one of the worst treasures that have been added to the game, along with it came along with the healing staff and the enchanted robe, and this is just completely a joke. It just ruins your gacha, treasure gacha, and you just don't want to see it and you don't want to use it. So that's why I'm going to be putting the trophy safe at D rank as well. Okay, and moving on, Scythe. Scythe is also going to be at an S tier. Scythe is going to just straight up flat increase your crit percentage. This is going to be a great treasure for you to deal some extra damage in the story mode in the arena for certain teams. However, just having something that is increasing something for a flat percentage is going to be a great use for most of the team. That's why I'm going to be putting the Scythe at an S tier for that reason. Alright, next one is going to be the sticky goo, or I think it's it's just a sticky goo. I think it's jelly worm sticky goo or something like that. I'm going to be putting the sticky goo at the C tier because it's only going to be making one of your cookies, I believe it's the lowest HP cookie, invulnerable for like 2 seconds. I don't know why you will be putting a invulnerability treasure as one of your slots. That it doesn't make you invulnerable for 5 seconds, it doesn't make you invulnerable for 6 or any higher than that, but it makes you invulnerable for about like 2 seconds. At a certain level, yes, you'll get higher, but that means you have to be pulling the sticky goo as an epic treasure. So I believe it's kind of a pointless treasure. You can just use the horn to make your cookies survive a little longer, or you could even put a healing treasure and a debuff treasure, or an insane heal treasure like a healing staff, so that you can heal the lowest cookie for a percentage of your cookies total attack. So they feel like jelly goo or sticky goo is, yes, it is okay, you can use it, but I wouldn't highly recommend it if you have any of the other higher up treasures. Alright, next one is going to be Enchanted Robe. I am putting Enchanted Robe at A tier. The reason for it is because it is only for attack speed comps. Yeah, it's very similar to how the torch is being used at a certain certain comps, but it is very strong when it is used properly, and it can also be useful for other teams, but it's better to be used on a speed comp like Pastry, Lilac, Choco, and the current meta that's going on in the arena. So it is going to buff the attack speed of the two highest attack speed boosted cookies in your team. So let me rephrase that again, and then let me just kind of explain it more clearly. So the two cookies in your team that has the highest attack speed buff, as you know, is mainly going to be from the treasure, or not the treasure. It's gonna be from the from the toppings. Oh man, I've been playing something else. So it's going to be mainly from the toppings, but at a certain percentage you're gonna get like 4.6% attack speed, 3.9%, 6%. It's gonna depend on your topping substats, but those are going to affect who's going to be getting the Enchanted Robe's buff. So the two of the cookies with the highest attack speed buff are going to be getting the Enchanted Robe's buff. However, if, for example, if Pastry is not one of the highest attack speed boosted cookie in your team, and all of a sudden Pastry uses her skill, then the buff is going to actually move from one of the cookies onto Pastry, and we'll be giving the Pastry cookie extra 50%, or I believe at level 1 is like 47 point something percent attack speed boost on top of her already 50%. So it is a great treasure to use. Not very viable in teams that are not going to utilize those kind of cookies, but when it comes to like range cookies, Pastry, Rye, and even Lilac now is going to be a very good treasure. So I'll be putting it at an A tier. Next one is going to be the ice cream. Ice cream is going to be placed at I am thinking S or A tier. I'll be putting it at an A tier for now. The reason why is because this is actually a variation of the Slingshot. However, the ice cream is going to be dealing a defense debuff to the nearest enemies. So it's not going to be targeting the rearmost enemies. For example, if you're dealing with the boss and you have something like guild boss battle, and the dragon summons the the minions, then instead of debuffing the dragon, the minions or the monsters will get debuffed instead. So it is a great treasure. It is a variation of the Slingshot, however it's still going to be lacking a little bit of that, you know, targeting, so I'm going to be putting it at an A tier. Scroll is going to be Pilgrim Scroll is no doubt the best treasure you could have on your team or in your team, so that's going to go into the treasure slot. It is going to increase your attack by a flat percentage. It is the treasure you are going to see the most in all of the teams, and if you are able to pull for the treasure, then you should definitely put this treasure in your treasure slot. There's nothing more to be said, just use it if you have it. Okay, next one is gonna be the Slingshot. Slingshot is actually, I'm gonna be putting at a S tier. It's gonna be the same reason why I put Lollipop at a S tier. The Slingshot, actually I want to put it at S tier. The reason why is because there's a lot of use for the Slingshot. Like I said during the ice cream explanation, Slingshot is actually a variation of the ice cream, but it targets the rearmost enemies or enemy and deals a defense debuff to that you know, certain enemy. It's great for boss battles, it's great for guild boss battle, it's great to deal with any of the higher HP you know, enemies, or even a very annoying weak but powerful enemies. You are able to quickly use it and burst them down with either Sea Fairy or even Pastry, Red Velvet. It doesn't really matter, but you are able to deal a ton of damage with that debuff. So I want to put the Slingshot actually at an S tier. If you disagree with me, you can let me know, but I would say it's going to be S or A tier, depending on where you think, where you use it and how you think about it. And next one is going to be the Paper Charm. I believe this is what it's called. Paper Charm is going to be, I'm going to be putting the Paper Charm at a B or a C tier. So what the Paper Charm does is actually, it's going to wipe, I'll just put it at a B tier because it's going to wipe the buff, all the buff that the nearest enemy is going to get. And also going to be dealing a certain percentage of all the cookies attack to that enemy over time, obviously. But it is a viable treasure. However, it is going to be a very, you know, niche kind of treasure, and you need to know exactly when to use it and why you're trying to use it, you know. And it's not gonna always work. Not all the enemies are going to be getting buff. Obviously, there are enemies during the higher PvE stages where they get buffed, they get you know, heals and things like that, but it's not always the case. So this treasure can be replaced by something like a horn, Scythe, Lollipop, Slingshot, and of course the scroll. And you know, it's just not a great treasure to use in most teams. Okay, so that's why I'm going to be putting the Paper Charm at a B tier. Next one is going to be the Branch. Branch is also an epic treasure. It is actually going to give a shield to all of your cookies, a percentage of their cookies HP, but it's not that great. It's like it's such a weak version of like pure vanillas at a low level, I believe. And you know, it's just if you're gonna have that, then might as well just, like I said, once again, just go for the horn, so that you keep your cookies alive a little longer. And you know, it's just better in my opinion. You know, I don't know why you'll waste a treasure slot for something like this. It's just not worth it. But however, like I said, if you don't have any of these and you really need that extra shield to, you know, clear a stage, then of course you could go for it. But I wouldn't recommend this for a normal daily use in the, you know, PvE arena, guild boss battle, and etc. So the Branch, being an epic as well, is going to be placed at that B tier. Next one is going to be the Jelly Watch. Jelly Watch is no doubt it's going to be on S tier. Yes, not everybody uses the Jelly Watch, and certain builds do not require Jelly Watches because of the substats of certain toppings or etc. But Jelly Watch is going to be a great cooldown reduction or cooldown buff, right? treasure that you can use. And on top of that, it being a common, you are able to max this out very easily, and it's going to help you know, bring down the cooldown of your skills down from a very high couple seconds to a very low couple seconds. So it's great for someone like Pure Vanilla, where his skill is like 19 seconds. You can bring it down all the way to like 12-13 seconds. That's subtracting already 6 seconds. On top of that, you can use Swift Chocolate or any of the substats, and you could even bring it down lower. So I want to recommend Jelly Watch to anybody who is currently playing the game and you know, need the extra cooldown. You know, buff, obviously you can not always have the best topping rolls for the substat, and that's why the Jelly Watch is going to be one of the best treasures you guys can use in the game and will help you beat the game as well. Next one is going to be the Feather. Feather is going to be at the A tier. Feather is going to revive the first cookie that dies in the battlefield by a certain and bring it back to life with a certain percentage of their max HP. Feather has been a great treasure that I have personally been using in the arena and the PvE and the Tower of Chaos, and you know, and more. So Feather has been saving my butt in many different game modes and stages, and I just want to say, you know, if you're gonna have a healing treasure or a shield treasure, then I'll just rather take a Feather. And on top of that, while even after you use the skill and you die and you revive after like 2 seconds, and your normal cooldown is supposed to be like 15 seconds, you'll come back with the skill right away. So you're basically, Sea Fairy can use her skill twice. If she uses the skill, dies, and comes back alive, she can just cast it instantly again. And this is going to be a great counter to someone like Vampire in the arena, where your Pure Vanilla or Herb Cookie dies instantly because of their power and the Vampire skill. Then they could come back and instantly cast their spells to heal and shield or debuff or purify, right, the team using their skill. So I want to put the Feather at A tier for that reason. Anyways guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope this was a very quick video for you guys, and you guys see where I'm coming from using these treasures and why I place them in certain tiers for this video. Anyways guys, if you guys enjoyed this content and you guys found the tier list helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and also leave a comment down below if you guys do agree with the treasure list, or what you will change if you guys were to make your own Cookie Run Kingdom treasure tier list. Anyways guys, thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you guys next time.